Welcome back, and today I'm going to introduce about the very important um, data structure inside programming languages, which is array. Okay, so what is an array? Array is just a variable, but it can contain a group of elements. So it is a variable, just like a normal variable. But the special point is it can contain, or it can work with, or it can store a group of, because it for normal variables it contain only one values within it, but for this kind of variables it can contain a group of elements with some special characteristics, which is this group of elements is a fixed size. A fixed size means it can work with group elements, but the numbers of elements within this array is fixed. Like you have an array of 3 elements, is contain or work with only 3 elements. You have array of 4 elements, it can contain or work with 4 elements only, so on and so forth. Then the next point is the elements must be of the same type. Okay, it's same data type. Let's say if you work with group of integers, then all of them are integer. If you work with group of float, then all of them are floats, so on and so forth. Then the data of the elements are stored continuously inside the memory, or inside the RAM. In this case, okay, inside the RAM. That one is the definitions of the array. Again, it's just a variable in like a normal variables with a name, and it is a memory locations. Then it's a fixed size. Number of elements is fixed and of the same type. The data types of the elements stored inside this array is fixed. Let's just give an example. So if you declare an array of, I won't use programming languages to demonstrate later, but in this case, if you declare an array of, you declare a variable. Let us just name the variable a, okay, as a variable a, okay, which is an array of 3 integers. Okay, an array of 3 integers. So if you declare, you use some programming languages later on, we're going to use to demonstrate about it. But let's just say if you declare a variable a, okay, which is an array of 3 integers, what is going on? Again, a is a variable. That's why, okay, a is a variable. That's why it is a name for a memory location. So inside the memory, at some location, let's just assume it's these locations. Okay, so a is a name for this memory location inside your computer, and this variable a is used to work with, because it's a variable. Now it's used to work with group of elements of 3, okay, 3 of them. So the size of the element that this array can work with is 3, and fixed size is 3, and of the same type, and the 3 elements stored inside this array, all of them are integer, and an integer is 4 bytes. Okay, an integer is 4 bytes, and in order to work with 3 of the integer, then you're going to do the multiplication, and the total memory we need to reserve for this array is equal to 12 bytes. Okay, and they are stored continuously inside the memory. That's why, start from this memory location, and the computer is going to reserve 1 byte, 2 byte, no, sorry, 1 integer, 2 integer, 3 integer. Let's assume that instead of saying this, cell as 1 bit or 1 byte, just to make it simple, we're going to consider this one cell as 4 bytes, which means it can use to store 1 integer. So in this case, a is memory location, and it should reserve 1, 2, 3 of the integers here, mean 12 bytes continuously. Okay, 12 bytes continuously. Okay, then inside here, it's going to reserve these 12 bytes. Okay, inside the memories. Okay, and so that one is variables, but a is only one variable. Okay, and we would like to work with 3 of them, like 3 variables. individually, separately, we can access to each one of them. So there is a new concept that array use, which is called indexing. Okay, so in order to work with each individual elements, we're going to just give an index for each of the elements here. So the first one, we're going to give it a number which is called 0. Okay, so the index started from 0. Okay, this one is the index of the first element, and if you would like to work with second element, you're going to work with the index number 2, and if you would like to work with the third element, this one is number 1. Okay, and if you would like to work with the third element, this one is index number 2. Okay, so let's say if you would like to work with, normally you use the square bracket operators. If you would like to work with first element, you're gonna put a square bracket, then 0. Okay, and if you would like to keep the first element with the value of 5, you're gonna do this one, and number 5 is going to be stored in this memory locations. And you're going to work with second elements by placing index number 1 here equal to 6, let's say. So you're gonna put here 6, and if you would like to work with third element, you're going to give the index to equal to, let's say, number 1 here. So you're going to be able to put number 1 here. So that one is about indexing, and the size of this array is, you see, the size of this array is 3, but the last element of it is 2 because the index is started from 0. Okay, so this is pretty much it about array. Again, it's a variable. That's why it's a name locations, a name for the memory locations. Okay, then it's a fixed size, so you need to specify it can work with 3 of them, 3 of the elements, so you have 3 of them here. Then the data is of the same types, okay, of the same type, so all of them here must be integer, all of them here must be integer, all of them here must be integer. Then they are stored continuously inside the memory, and in order to access to each one of them, you're going to use the concept which is called index. Okay, you have only a name, but you would like to work with 3 elements, so you have to give one more information, which is the index. And the index started from 0, okay, and increased 1 by 1, 0, 1, 2. Okay, and the index started from 0, 0. That's why the last element is 2, but the size of it is 3. Okay, and in the next part, I'm going to use some programming languages in order to demonstrate about the array for you.